Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Nuta, the Crochet World, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment on my videos. And today we're going to do this beautiful pattern for a phone cover with a card wallet. Now here I've made this card wallet in here, and this is a phone cover, and I've made this one with my 100% cotton yarn. And for this project I've used 3.5 mm of the hook, and this phone cover with the card wallet is about 19 centimeter or 7.5 inches long. It's like this, and it is about 4 inches or 10.5 centimeter wide. And that's it. If you want to check with the phone cover, the phone cover is about 7 inches tall, about 7 inches, nearly 17.5 centimeters, and it is about 4 inches or 10.5 centimeters wide. And that's it. So let's begin. Okay, so for this one, just have your yarn, and we're gonna make a slip knot here. So have your slip knot, and now here we're gonna chain up 16, 1, 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 and 16. So here it is. I've got my 16 chains, 1, 6, and now I'm gonna turn my work. And here, this is the back part of my chains. Now here, this is the back part of my first chain, and this is the back part of my second chain. Now here, I'm going to insert my hook into the back part of my second chain, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a single crochet here. And now keep on having one single crochet on each chain for this row number 1. And by the end of row number 1, you're going to have your 15 single crochets, one single crochet on each chain. And I'm going to meet you up to my 14th single crochet. So here, keep on having one single crochet on each chain until this second last chain, and I'm going to tell you what to do on your last chain. So just keep on having your one single crochet on each chain, and I'm going to meet you after my 14th single crochet. And here it is. I've got my 14 single crochets here, and I'm here on my this last chain. So here for my last chain, I'm going to have a single crochet on my last chain as well. So for that one, just insert your hook into this last chain, grab your yarn, and you're going to have 2 loops on your hook. And now we're going to change the color of our yarn. So here I'm going to take this second color. Now I'm going to count this white color as my second color and my this lilac color as my first color. So here, attach your second color. You can have any color you want. I'm going to attaching my this second color like this. So here it is. That's how you're going to finish up your work, your this stitch, and here your row number 1 is done. Now for your row number 2, here, chain 1, turn your work, and insert your hook into this first stitch, and grab your yarn and make your one single crochet here. You can pull your this ends like this so that your stitch will be nicely formed. And now for your row number 2, keep on having one single crochet on each stitch from the previous row. So here again, for our this next row, or row number 2, we're gonna have 15 single crochets, one single crochet on each stitch from our previous row. Now remember, at the end we're not going to change the color, so do not worry about the last stitch. Just keep on having your 15 single crochets, one single crochet on each stitch, and I'm going to meet you at the end. And here it is. For my row number 2, I have 15 single crochets, one single crochet on each stitch, and now I will chain 1 here and will turn my work, and again I'm going to have one single crochet on each stitch. So insert your hook into your this first stitch, grab your yarn and make your this first single crochet into your second one, have one single crochet into your third one, have one single crochet, and keep on having one single crochet on each stitch. And I'm going to meet you on my 14th stitch, on my 14th single crochet, because after this row we're going to change the color of our yarn. So again, I'm going to meet you on my 14th row. I'm going to meet you on my 14th stitch, the second last stitch in here, and I'm going to tell you what to do on the 15th stitch. One single crochet on each stitch for this row, row number 3, and and in total we're going to have 15 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you on my 14th single crochet. And here it is. I've got my 14 single crochets here, 1 single crochet on each stitch from the previous round. And now for my last stitch, my 15th stitch, I will insert my hook into this stitch and will grab the yarn, and now I'm going to have 2 loops on my hook, and I will change the color. Now I'm going to take this first color and I will attach this first color. Now while attaching this first color, just always remember that this strain of yarn should not be too loose and it should not be too tight. Otherwise your work will shrink and you're gonna add up so many rows in this work, so your one side will be shrink or maybe loosen up and it won't look good. So whenever you're attaching this yarn, just keep in mind to have this strain of yarn moderately straight, and that's it. So here it is. We're going to attach our work in here, our yarn in here on our work, and now chain 1 for our row number 4. Now here, from the row number 4, we're going to start building our pattern. So here, for this row number 4, this is our chain 1. This is our first stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a single crochet here. And now for the second stitch here, I will not work on this stitch. I will go down on this star. Now you can see a star in here. There is a star in here. Now here, in between this row number 1 and row number 2, you can find this star just below this second stitch. Just go below your second stitch and go a little left and you will find your star in here. Insert your hook into this space and grab your yarn and pull your yarn, level up your yarn like this, and now yarn over and have your longer single crochet, and this is your spike stitch. This is called a spike stitch. Now you can call it anything. You can call it a spike stitch, you can call it a longer single crochet. Now the next one here, we're going to have our normal single crochet. So just have your one normal single crochet. And now the next stitch is going to be our longer single crochet. So here again, as we are not going to work on this stitch, we will go below, and between this row number 1 and 2, here we have already changed the color of these 2 rows, so it's easier for you to find this star. Insert your hook into this star. You should go below of this stitch and slightly left, and you will find this spot, this star, and just grab your yarn from there and simply just level up your yarn and make your single crochet here. Again, the next one is going to be our normal single crochet, and the next one is going to be our longer single crochet. So here again, go down, and in between this row number 1 and row number 2, you're going to find your star. Insert your hook into that space, grab your yarn and make a longer single crochet, and now keep on repeating this pattern. So one single crochet is going to be your normal single crochet, and your next single crochet is going to be your longer single crochet. That's going to be your spike stitch. So here you're going to find this star, insert your hook into this star, grab your yarn and make a longer single crochet. Keep on repeating this pattern, and I'm going to meet you at the end here. And here it is. After my row number 4, my work looks like this. Now for your row number 5, I'm going to chain 1 and will turn my work. And here I'm going to have 1 single crochet on each stitch. So keep on having 1 single crochet on each stitch. This is our first single crochet. That's going to be our second single crochet, our third single crochet, and keep on having 1 single crochet on each stitch. And by the end, you're going to have your 15 single crochet, but we will stop our work on this 14th stitch, and we are going to change our color on this 15th, our last stitch. So here I'm going to meet you on this 14th stitch. 1 single crochet on each stitch for this row number 5. And here it is. I've got my 14 single crochets here, and for my 15th single crochet, I will insert my hook into this last stitch and will grab the yarn, and I'm going to have 2 loops. And now I will change the color of my yarn. So here I will yarn over and will attach my yarn, my second color, with my work like this. And this is the end of your row number 5. Now for your row number 6, I'm going to chain 1 and will turn my work. And here For the first 2 stitches, we are going to have 1 single crochet on each stitch. So here it is. I'm going to insert my hook into my this stitch. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make 1 single crochet. And into my second stitch, I'm going to have 1 single crochet. So first 2 stitches have 2 normal single crochets on your first 2 stitches. Now, for the third stitch, we're going to have our spike stitch. And for that one, we will go down below this next stitch, our third stitch. So go down, and in between these 2 longer single crochets, you're going to find your star in here, in between your row number 3 and row number 4. Here we have changed the color of these 2 rows. So here you're going to find this star in between these 2 single crochets. Here, insert your hook into this space and grab your yarn and have your single crochet here. Again, the next one is going to be your normal single crochet, and the next one is going to be your longer single crochet. In between these 2 longer single crochets, you're going to find your star in here. Grab your yarn and have 1 longer single crochet. Again, the next one is going to be your normal single crochet, and next one is going to be your longer single crochet, your spike stitch. And now keep on repeating this pattern until your 13th stitch. So leave your last stitch, do not work on this last stitch, and I'm going to meet you on your 13th stitch. Until this 13th stitch, this 13th stitch is going to be your longer single crochet. So work until your this 13th stitch, and I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. I've got my this 13 stitch here. Now for this remaining 2 stitches, over this last 2 stitches, we're going to have normal single crochet on this both the stitches. So 1 normal single crochet on each stitch. So it's 1 and 2. So that's our stitch number 14 and 15. And here it is. This is end of your row number 6, and it looks like this. Now for your row number 7, we're going to chain 1 and we'll turn our work and insert your hook into this first stitch. Grab your yarn, have 1 single crochet, and keep on having 1 single crochet on each stitch until your 14th stitch here. And for your 15th stitch, we're going to change the color of our yarn. So here keep on having 1 single crochet on each stitch, and I'm going to meet you after my row number 7 and after my stitch number 14. And here it is. I've got my this 14 single crochets, 1 single crochet on each stitch. And for the last stitch, for our 15th stitch, we're going to have our 1 single crochet on this last stitch as well. But we're going to change the color here. So here, just yarn over and pull your yarn through your stitch, and you're going to have 2 loops on your hook. And now change the color. So take this first color and attach this first color to your work. And here it is. This is end of your row number 7. Now here onwards, we're going to repeat our row number 4, 5, 6 and 7. 4 rows until our row number 128. So I know it's a long way to go, but we're going to repeat these 4 rows until the end of our work. So here again, I'm going to repeat my row number 4 here. So for this row number 8, our next row number 8, chain 1, turn your work, and here we're going to repeat our row number 4. So your first stitch is going to be your normal single crochet. Your second stitch is going to be your spike stitch. So that's going to be a longer single crochet. So here it is. This is your star. Just below the second stitch here. This is your star. Insert your hook into this space. Grab your yarn and have this longer single crochet. Next one is going to be your normal single crochet. And the next one is going to be your longer single crochet. Again, the next one is going to be a normal single crochet, and after that it's going to be a longer single crochet. Now keep on having your 1 normal single crochet and 1 longer single crochet until the end, and I'm going to meet you here. And here it is. I've finished my row number 8, and I've repeated my row number 4 for this row number 8. Now for the row number 9, I'm going to repeat my row number 5. So for that one, I'm going to chain 1 and we'll turn my work, and we'll have 1 single crochet on each stitch until the end of this row. But I'm going to change the color on my last stitch. So for the 15th stitch, do not finish your stitch and change your color of the yarn. And here it is. I've got my 14 single crochets here, and now for the last stitch, I'm going to insert my hook into this last stitch. We'll grab the yarn and I will change the color. So I'm going to yarn over and will pull my yarn through both the loops, and the stitch is completed and it's here. So here for our row number 9, I have repeated my row number 5. Now for the row number 10, I'm going to repeat row number 6. So here it is. I'm going to chain 1 and we'll turn my work, and for the first 2 stitches we're going to have our normal single crochet. So here it is. It's 1 and 2, and the third stitch is going to be our longer single crochet. So in between these 2 longer single crochets, you're going to find your star, insert your hook in between that space and grab your yarn and make your this longer single crochet. Again, the next one is going to be your normal single crochet, and next stitch is going to be your longer single crochet. Again, the next one is going to be your normal single crochet, and the next one is going to be your longer single crochet. And now keep on repeating this pattern and keep on repeating your row number 6 for this row number 10, and last 2 stitches going to be our 2 normal single crochets. And here it is. This is end of row number 10. Now again, I'm going to chain 1 and will turn my work, and for my row number 11, I'm going to repeat my row number 7. So here I'm going to have 1 single crochet on each stitch for my row number 11. And here it is. I've got my 14 stitches for my row number 11, and for my 15th stitch, for my last stitch, I'm just going to insert my hook, I'll grab the yarn, I'm going to have 2 loops, and I will change the color of my yarn. So take your this first color and attach your this yarn to your work, and here it is. Your row number 11 is completed. Again, chain 1, turn your work, and here again repeat your row number 4. So for your row number 12, repeat your row number 4. And now keep on repeating your row number 4, 5, 6 and 7 until your row number 128. And remember, your 128th row, your last row, will be with your this first color. And remember that this is your front side. This is your front side and this is your back side. So here you're going to find your stitches in V, and this is your back side. And here you're going to find your this spike stitches. So this is your front side. So we're going to work on this front side, and we're going to work until our row number 128. I know it's quite a lot of rows in here, but don't worry, you have only 15 stitches on each row, so it's going to complete very quickly. So just finish up your this work until your 128 rows, and I'm going to meet you after my 128th row. And here it is. After my 128 rows, my work looks like this, and it's quite a big one. I'm going to cut my this second color, my white color yarn. So I'm going to cut my yarn in here, and I will leave this one. Now we have to put this loose end in. We can do it later on. I'm just going to leave it like this. Now I'm here. This is my last row, row number 128. Now what I will do is, we will have to work on this side. So this is our left side, and here it is. My last stitch is here. So we're going to work on this left side. Now for that one, here I'm going to have one more stitch. So here it is. This is my 17th stitch of my row number 128, and I'm going to insert my hook again into my that 17th stitch. We'll insert my hook again into that stitch. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make one single crochet here, and that single crochet is for this left side. Now to remember that this is my first stitch, what I will do is I will put my this stitch marker here. And now here we're gonna have one stitch on each of this row. So here we have already worked on this stitch. This is this stitch we have already worked on. So we got over this first stitch. So we will take this part, this white part, and this is our second row. So here I'm going to insert my hook into that second row, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make one more single crochet here. Now I will go to this next one, and here I will go to this next one and will insert my hook into my this next row. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make one single crochet. I will go this longer part in here. We'll insert my hook into this space and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my one more single crochet. Now we are here on this white part, and here I'm going to insert my hook into my this next row. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make one single crochet. And here I'm on the second row and of this white part, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make one single crochet. Now if you want to have an idea, just remember that each color has 2 rows. So each time here you're gonna have 2 single crochets. So again, for this next part of this lilac part, I'm gonna have 2 single crochets here. So it's 1 and 2. The next one we're gonna have another 2 single crochets. So it's 1 and 2. Now keep on having this 1 single crochet on all the way until here, and here you're going to have your 127 single crochets. Remember, 127, not 128. So keep on having your single crochets on all the way until here, and I'm going to meet you here. And here it is. I've got my 126 stitches here. I'm going to do my last stitch, 127th stitch in here, and it looks like this. Don't worry if you're having a curve in here, it's gonna go, because we're gonna have exactly the same stitch on this other side as well, so it will be move and it will be straight. So don't worry about this one. So here I'm having my 126 stitches, and I'm gonna insert my hook into my this last space, and we'll make my 127th stitch. So this is my last stitch on this left side. Now here I will put my stitch marker. So this is the last stitch, 127th stitch, and put your stitch marker in here. And now we're going to come up here. Now this is the foundation chain. This is the bottom part. This is the foundation chain, and we have our 15 stitches in here. So here you're going to have 1 single crochet on each chain, and you're going to have your 15 stitches in here. So here, this is my first chain. I'm going to insert my hook into my this first chain, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my 1 single crochet here. We'll go to the next one, insert your hook, and make your 1 more single crochet here into your next chain. Because it is chain, the stitches are a little hard, so just be careful with it, and just have your 1 single crochet on each chain, and by the end you're going to have your 15 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. I've got my this 15 single crochets here, and now I will come up here, and this is the right side. So this is the other side. Here we have already worked on, so we will work on this side. And here again we're going to have exactly the same stitches, so we're going to have 127 stitches until here. Just exactly repeat this process. So every color, every of these color will have 2 stitches, just whatsoever we have done here. So here I have my this 15th stitch. I will go to my this next one, and will have my 1 single crochet here, and here this is my first single crochet. I'm going to put my this stitch marker here so that I will remember that this is my first stitch on this other side. So here this is my first single crochet, and I'm going to go to this next row. I'm going to have my 1 single crochet here, and to the next one I'm going to have my 1 more single crochet on the same color. And now keep on repeating this pattern, and by the end you're going to have your 127 stitches. You can put this loose end in as well. So I'm going to put my this loose end in, and this is the back part. So I'm going to put my this loose end from this side, and I'm going to meet you here on my 127th stitch. And here it is. I've got my 126 stitches, and I'm going to have 1 more stitch in here, and that's my 127 stitches. And now here again I'm going to put my this stitch marker. So this is the last stitch of my this side, the other side. And now we're going to come up here. So here we're going to have another 15 single crochets on top of this stitches. So hook into this first stitch, grab your yarn, and make your 1 single crochet on each stitch, and by the end you're going to have your 15 single crochets on this top side. And I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. I've got my this 15 single crochets, 15 stitches on this top side as well, and this is my first stitch. So I'm going to just take out my this stitch marker. We'll insert my hook into my this first stitch. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here. That's going to be my first stitch now, and I will cut my yarn in here, secure this last stitch, and here put your this loose end in, and I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. I've put my this all loose ends in, and I've counted my stitches here. Now here what you have to do is take any corner stitch and count your 80 stitches, 80, and this is my 80th stitch. So insert your 80th stitch into a stitch marker and attach your work on this side, and we're going to do exactly the same for this other side as well. Count from here, as we got our first stitch in here, count from here 80 stitches, 80, and insert your hook into this 80th stitch here. So here I have inserted my, the stitch marker. Insert your stitch marker into this 80th stitch. So here I have inserted my stitch marker into this 80th stitch. Similarly, on the other side, count your 38 stitches. So here we got our 38 stitches. So this one was our first stitch on this corner side. So here we have counted our 38 stitches, 38, and this is my 38th stitch, and I have inserted my the stitch marker into this 30th stitch, and I have done exactly the same on this other side as well. Stitch marker here, I have already put my this stitch marker here. So here count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9 stitches in here, and here again you're gonna have your 9 stitches. So if you want to count, here it is. I've got my the stitch marker in here, so it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So here on the other side as well we have 9 stitches. So here both the sides, in this gap we have 9 stitches, and now we're gonna start attaching our work. So here I'm gonna turn my work this way, and I will go here. Now here I'm going to count my 40 stitches. So count your 40 stitches from your this stitch marker. So this is your stitch marker. Count 40 stitches from here. So it's take this one as well. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 37 38 39 and 40. So this is my 40th stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook into my this 40th stitch, and I'm going to take the back loop of my 48th stitch. So here it is. And on this side, remember, not on the inside, and on the outer side, and I'm going to take the back loop of my this 40th stitch, and I'm going to take the front loop of my 41 stitch here. So the back loop of your 40th stitch and the front loop of your next stitch, 41 stitch, and have your yarn and attach your yarn in here. And now we're going to attach our work exactly the same way. So here for our next 2 stitches, have one back loop from the front side and have front loop from the back side, and get your yarn and have your slip stitch here. And now keep on having one slip stitch on each stitch on both the sides. Your front side will take back loop, and your back side take the front loop here like this. Grab your yarn and make a slip stitch. And now keep on having one slip stitch on each stitch from both the sides, and I'm going to meet you after that. And at the end here you're going to have your 39 slip stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end here. And here it is. I've got my 38 stitches, slip stitches here, and I'm going to take out my the stitch marker. I'm at the end here. And here it is. I'm going to take my this last stitch, my 39th stitch, and we'll make a slip stitch here. And here it is. I've got my 39 slip stitches here. Now we are here on this side. So here we're going to have 9 slip stitches on this middle side. So next 9 stitches have one slip stitch into each stitch. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So here we got 9 stitches in here. Here it is. And now I'm going to take out my this stitch marker. So here I'm going to take my this stitch, my first stitch, and the first stitch in here. So just take out your the stitch marker here. Remember your first stitch. Insert your hook into the back loop of your next stitch, your 10th stitch, and the front loop of your this first stitch here like this, and grab your yarn and make a slip stitch. And now keep on repeating the pattern here, just whatsoever we have done here. Just keep on repeating this pattern. So take the back loop of this front side and the front loop of your this back side, grab your yarn and make a slip stitch. And here you're going to have your 18 slip stitches until here, and I'm going to meet you here. So here it is. I've got my 18 slip stitches, and I'm going to do this last slip stitch. So here I'm going to insert my hook in here like this, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here, and that's it. I'm going to cut my yarn here, and we'll secure this last stitch. Now we have to put this loose ends in. We're going to do it later on. Now we will go to this other side. Now here again I'm going to turn my work, and here I'm again in the front part, and here we're going to count our 19 stitches. So from here count your 19 stitches. 1 2 3 18 and 19. So this is your 19th stitch. Insert your hook into this 19th stitch. Take the back loop and your 20th stitch here, and take the front loop, exactly what we have done in here, and take your this 2 loops and attach your yarn. Here it is. Take your yarn and so attach your yarn. And now we're going to repeat exactly the same pattern in here. So here we're going to have our 18 slip stitches, as we have attached our first, for the first stitch we have attached our yarn here. So next 18 stitches we're going to have our slip stitches. And here it is. I've got my 17 slip stitches here. I'm going to do this last slip stitch. I'm here on this last stitch. I'm going to take out this stitch marker, and we'll insert into the back loop of my front part and the front loop of this back part, and we'll take the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here. Now for the next 9 stitches we're going to have 1 slip stitch on each stitch. So it's 1 2 3 4, and here it is. I've got my 9 slip stitches here. I'm going to take out this stitch marker. So I'm going to take this 2 stitches here. I've put this stitch marker on. So take out the stitch marker, remember your stitches, and here I'm going to take the back loop of my front part and the front loop of this back part, and we'll take the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here. And now keep on having your slip stitch until the end of your work, and here you're going to have your 39 slip stitches, and I'm going to meet you on my 39th slip stitches. And here it is. I've got this 39 slip stitches, and for my last slip stitch, my 40th slip stitch, I'm going to insert my hook like this, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here, and that's my 40th slip stitch. And I will cut my yarn and we'll secure this last stitch, and it's almost done. Now we're going to put this loose ends in. So to put this loose ends in, just go in here somewhere like this, and just grab this yarn inside on this other side as well, and put all these loose ends in, and I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. It is all done. So your phone cover with your card wallet is absolutely done, and you can use it like this if you want to use it like this. You don't need to put anything extra in it if you don't want to. I am gonna put this fancy button on here. Now there is no requirement of this one, so if you want to skip this one, it's absolutely on you. You can skip this one. I am just gonna put this one so that it looks good, it looks fancy. And for the handle, if you want your pouch, your wallet just like this, it's completely all right. But if you want to have a handle as well, so I'm having this handle in here. Now I've made this code. This is a Romanian code. Now if you want to know how to make this Romanian code, I have a separate tutorial video for this Romanian code. So for this Romanian code tutorial videos, please check the link into the description box, or you can check the I button on the top. And that's it. So I'm just gonna put this one in here. And here it is. the handle is done. I will just weave in this button in here. I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. I've put my all loose ends in. I've weaved this one in as well, and it looks like this. And I hope you have liked my today's tutorial. If you have please like, share and comment on my videos, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you into the next video. Till then, bye.